All right, so today I'm joined by Mike Davis. How you doing, Mike, so far?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great, man. So I wanted to have you on just because you were gonna fight Jai Herbert this weekend at UFC London. It was one that I messaged you about. I was like stoked about it, and then you told me you weren't fighting. So I still wanted to kind of talk to you and see what happened with that, just because you turned things around last year with that win over Mason Jones, and then haven't really seen you since. So I was excited to see you come back this weekend. But tell me about
Was
that.
too. I was excited to come back. Just things didn't really line up for my direction, my path, where I'm going, and my whole overall outlook of what I'm doing with the sport. Um, it sucked. I definitely wanted to be back in there sooner than later, especially because I've been out for a while for my surgeries, and I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see what else comes up.
Okay. So was it something like just healing and recovering from surgery wasn't going as fast or smoothly as you expected and just
Oh,
weren't going to be ready for this weekend or?
there's a lot involved in it. Um, uh, there's bout issues with the contract, London location, money. There's just a lot that goes behind it. I'm not just a guy that's just gonna go fight anybody for anything. Like, this is my business. This is how I make money, and so I got to look out for myself.
For sure. I hear that. And I was kind of thinking in the back of my head, it might have been something about London or whatnot, but I was hoping it wasn't an injury or anything like that. So
No,
it's nothing like that, right? Just more
no.
about trying to get things straightened out, maybe contract wise financially.
Yep.
Okay.
And as you know, I mean, the UFC right now, everyone's talking about the money and the pay for the UFC. So like literally all the fighters are starting to get behind it. People are trying to make changes, and I'm just a part of the group.
Yeah. I mean, even just from like an outside perspective, I kind of even see like these BKFC promotions and stuff like that being probably a more lucrative option for you guys to go. And it's crazy just because everyone has a dream of being a UFC fighter, right? But then eventually you have to go for like money and look out for your family
Yeah.
too. So it's probably a tough decision. Just to follow up on what you were kind of telling me though, are you guys still working towards that? And are you still trying to get back in the octagon maybe as soon as possible?
Yeah. I definitely want to get in the octagon ASAP. Um, I am coming off of sickness, which is crazy because after I denied the contract, I got sick. I got COVID or something. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty bad. And I'm recovering from that. So once I'm back to normal, I'm ready to go. So
Okay,
I was
sounds good.
actually I'm hoping for April.
Hoping for April.
April
Okay.
9th would be cool if I could jump on that short notice. That card is an hour away from my house, so that'd be great to jump on there in Jacksonville. But if
Yeah, that
not,
would be a good one, huh?
anytime in April.
Because you also went to like Abu Dhabi. I know you didn't like that. So are you more you probably
Great.
eyeing like Vegas or like this
Vegas.
April 9th card in Miami?
Vegas would be great. Jacksonville would be great.
Did you have any opponent in mind or anything or
No, I'm not very high up ranked. I think I'm like 45 ranked. So as as the ladder climbs, I build my experience, I get my paychecks in order, and we're good to go.
and so just to go back a little bit too, sounds like you were able to heal up over the last year. So how do you feel, man? Like you were going through so much crap before that.
Yeah,
Like a lot of
I'm
fans probably don't
still
know, but yeah.
I'm still going through a little bit. I still feel pain here and there, but it's been a while. I've come accustomed to it. I'm used to it,
Yeah,
and kind of working through. Little by little, I'll get back to 100%. But I don't think any fighter fights at 100%. So
true. But as like you're probably as close to it as you can be, you're
yeah,
probably feeling like,
yep, I feel great.
okay, awesome. And looks like you got a nice little back setting as well. I know a year ago you were struggling financially and stuff, but you got
Yeah,
that bonus in that fight. So how's the last year been for you? Maybe just like as far as getting your life together and everything like that.
so much better. So
Yeah,
I was
it's
able
good to
to help
hear.
my family. I was able to help my friends travel. I can travel and make money now. So I just moved to this apartment 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago.
Okay.
This is
Where were you
nice.
before that?
Down in Coconut Creek.
Okay. Still kind of like maybe were you renting a room or you had a place at
I
in
had a place.
Coconut Creek?
I had a place
For
there
sure.
too. And that was all thanks to the fight. I could afford it because of that fight. The
Hell yeah, man.
bonus set
Yeah,
me
yeah.
a year and a half financially.
That's so awesome. And then you don't even have them too many taxes, right? Because of
Oh no,
Florida.
tons of taxes. This is insane.
Oh, there's a ton still. Is there? What happens with Abu Dhabi? Because you have to pay it over there too, or something. Then
No, Abu Dhabi's rich. They don't need tax money.
okay, so you
But
just had to pay the ones in the state.
London takes 40% of your global income. So if you make 200,000 throughout the year, they'll take 40% of it.
Dang.
And then US takes however much they 25%, something like that.
So you kind of paid like double then.
Yeah, that's another reason I didn't want to fight in London.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people aren't really too keen on New York either.
Yeah, not New York. Nope.
Yeah. So are you still over there training at American Top Team as well? I see. Like
I'm
you
currently
training
up
over
at,
at Fusion too.
yeah, I'm currently up at Fusion.
Okay. No reason for that. Probably is that just because you're moving stuff?
I moved to be closer to my family and to kind of solidify my training. I love American Top Team. I hope to go back there one day, but right now I just need to focus on myself. And it's better because my mother is recovering from COVID, and it's good to be close to her. I'm not very far away from her now.
Okay. Awesome, man. So I do want to talk about like, I guess your life a little bit, just like MMA journey and everything and how you got to where you are. It looks like you put in a ton of work, man, and you got lots of skills, grappling and striking wise. So I guess what got you into all of this in the first place? Was it like
Oh no.
wrestling background or what was it?
Oh, when it came to training, boxing. I
Boxing?
started I started with boxing and then transitioned to do wrestling and boxing at the same time. And then eventually I did Kantakuto karate, Kyokushin karate. So I learned how to kick.
Around what age was all that too, by the way? Like when you started?
I started at 14.
Okay, so you're pretty young too.
Yeah. I started at 14 training boxing and wrestling. I took my first fight at 16. I stopped fighting after that for 2 years and got a degree. And then I started training and fighting again at 19 or 18.
Okay. What'd you get a degree in, by the way?
Exercise physiology and nutrition.
Okay, cool. I've seen your workouts too. It looks like I was wondering where you get those workouts from, but probably from your education stuff, huh?
A little bit of education, but also I worked with Phil DeRue, my strength and conditioning coach. He is probably the most knowledge that I've met in a while, and I've taken a lot of his stuff.
So, you trained from the age of 14, right? And then you came back at 19. So that was like 5 years of training, or maybe like you took off a couple, right? So maybe like
Yeah,
3 years
so
of training,
altogether, I've been training for 11 years now.
11 years. Okay. And did you kind of have that plan when you were in college too, or what was the transition between like getting your degree and then still
I
choosing to go back to
wanted to
fighting?
just open the gym
Mm,
when I was in college, and then right towards the end of college, I got offered a fight, and I was the biggest I've ever been because all I did was lift in college. I was like 186, 184,
dang.
and they offered me a fight at 155, and I took it, cut all the way down. And then I won that fight too. Then I got another fight, and I just kept taking fights. And I was like, you know what? Well, let's just try this out. And I just kept winning. I think I went 24 in a row before I lost to Sodiq.
Okay. So, because I saw you have like an extensive amateur background as well, but I didn't see like 24 fights on there. Some of
I was
those weren't on
24
record, huh?
combative. I've had boxing, Muay Thai, and MMA, and then 24 wins altogether in those categories. 10
Gotcha.
straight for MMA, boxing, and pro boxing too. I did pro
Yeah.
boxing.
So like your experience level is probably so much higher than the average guy. You probably have to be itching to get back in there just because seeing some of the competition out there, you see a lot of maybe like one-dimensional fighters in a sense today.
Yeah.
You got to be itching to get back in there just because you're
There's a
feeling
lot
like
of
your
them.
skills are primer.
I know my skills are there, but
Hmm.
mentally I have like a block, and I know that a lot of fighters do, but I'm still adjusting to my comfort level in the octagon.
Okay.
It's new, it's big, it's a lot of lights, a lot of people, a lot of pressure when you're in the octagon and the UFC specifically. So I'm still adjusting. I'm still trying to find my ground there. So I fight like I normally do in training or so.
Yeah, I was actually listening to an old interview you did, and you mentioned something like you try to do little things in the fight that kind of makes you relax, that like you would do in sparring, like shake out your arms and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing you're talking about. Have you evolved on that past what I just mentioned?
No, I am talking to psychologists and hypnotherapists that are helping me uh, understand my abilities more and have more belief in myself, which is what it's causing it. But yeah, I felt in Mason Jones fight, I felt good. I felt
Yeah,
comfortable, and I was never really out and over stimulated at all. So I
yeah,
was
that was
getting
a pretty dominant win, and so was the one before that. But is it like, I guess, did this kind of happen when you took your first loss to Sodiq, or maybe even the one to Gilbert Burns? Or
probably.
because I mean, you went 24-0, right? So you probably weren't dealing with it back then, but maybe a loss kind of,
I think it was a loss.
yeah, triggered it.
The loss, yeah, it triggered a lot. It made me move. I switched gyms. I just moved all the way away from everybody. It caused a lot of mental things, stuff I had to work on. It made me focus. I went to Thailand. I was trying to correct everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like jump off of that completely, but did you like get a scholarship over at Thailand, or how did that whole move go about too? Because that's pretty interesting as well.
Oh yeah, Thailand.
Yeah.
I randomly, a friend of mine was at Tiger training on a vacation, and he told me that they have tryouts coming out. The tryout application period was over, but he said to apply. So I did anyway, and they called, not call me, but they gave me a invitation to come out there to tryouts, and then I just destroyed that entire thing. I,
Really? Did
I was
you
I
go
was
on? Go on, sorry.
picked out there.
Did you win that whole thing or for the
But
tryouts?
we got picked. There's a few people that got picked, but I was the number one pick.
Okay. How does that whole thing work? So you try out, basically you do some sparring, grappling. Is it like what you see in like the Ultimate Fighter?
Kinda. You don't set up and spar. It's you show up, you can go early, go late. It doesn't matter, or not late, but you can go early and get acclimated to all the stuff out there. And you will do like strength and conditioning course where they just try to break you. You do strength and conditioning, wrestling, Muay Thai, BJJ, just a straight striking course, and then that pad work that you see online where they try to drop you. It's everyone
Mhm.
just tries to drop you. They're just trying to break people and see who can withstand the entire tryout.
So like how many people end up falling out just throughout the trial before it ends?
Honestly, not many people just give up
Okay.
unless they break something, because some people broke their nose in the Muay Thai, some people broke their ribs, but the people who stayed healthy didn't really give up, and then it was just
Okay.
based on skill set.
And then after that, basically, how did they go about picking you guys? Like, how did you win? I guess like a stay there or something like that. What was it like? All
You win a
expenses
year.
paid for training that you got?
For 1 year, and you
Okay.
do
How do you win that? Like at the end of it?
they pick whoever they want.
Oh, okay. So it's just
Yeah,
like
it's just like a
picking X amount
lineup.
of people.
Yeah, it's just a lineup, and they go through and pick you based on your skill set.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's pretty sick, dude. And so
Yeah,
you can just go back anytime you want now, or how does that
I
work?
hope so.
You hope so?
I had to come back because I can't live two lives. I mean, I can't stay across country and pay for all the things I need to pay, like rent and car and all that stuff over here. So I came back,
Yeah.
but I do plan to go back out there. Honestly, as soon as I can. I love the
Okay.
lifestyle, the training. It's all day long. It's an amazing place to be.
Yeah. I heard the people there are really happy.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it's a different type of world, basically.
yeah, I can't wait to come back.
Yeah. I was actually wondering that though, like financially and stuff like that. So, how have you been able to like in the beginning, was it kind of like your family who gave you that support to be able to train and everything? Because I mean, even for myself, right? Like out of high school, I was doing a lot of jujitsu because I wrestled in high school. And then it's that thing, right, where you just like love it. So you don't even know about anything else to do. But eventually I kind of had to just be like, damn, man, all right, I'm just gonna go work. And now I don't even really train. I kind of want to go back after I'm done with school, but like it's hard just because you got to deal with regular life and then follow your dreams, right? So how are you
Yeah.
able to kind of like those beginning years get through it, like 19 after you're graduating till like, I mean, up to like even last year and stuff?
Honestly, rough. Um, it has to be something you want. And after college, that was when I decided I was going to stay on it and see what I could do. I never thought I'd go to the UFC. I never had the UFC in mind. So I was working jobs. I was working at AT&T, and I would work the morning shift and then leave right from the work, go to training, go from training home and do it every day. Or then I worked at Tire Kingdom, did the same thing, just train. I leave at work like 30 minutes early, get in trouble every day for leaving early, but I would make it to training and I would do it every day. It was something I wanted. And then as I was winning fights, I would get people who would want to kind of sponsor, and they'll give me like 300 a month here, $1,000 a month. If I win the fight, they give me 500. If I lose, they give me 250, like that kind of stuff. So I was just making money everywhere.
Was the move to American Top Team a part of that in a sense? Because I hear that they can kind of give you room and board and stuff. So was that part of the reasons that you went over there to kind of be able to train and not have to work and stuff? Or
where I was training, I was kind of top dog up here in Orlando at the time. And I wasn't being pushed. I wasn't really working with people that had the same mindset. So I went to American Top Team to work with everybody who's already in the position that I want. The UFC, top 5, Dustin Poirier's literally number 1 right now. Like all the people that I wanted to work with and needed to work with. So lived down there. So I moved down there to get that training.
Okay, got you. And then were you still working at that point, or were you able to kind of save up some money so you can spend like X amount of time training?
I got a sponsorship for living down there.
Okay.
Almost the whole time I lived down there.
Okay. Was it like a company or just some supporter like of regional MMA?
It was a supporter.
Okay, for sure. So how long did that last you then? Like a year and a half. And then
I paid for the place for a year.
So another thing I kind of wonder is like in those beginning years of like fights in the regional scene, do you get paid very much at all, or it really isn't enough to support you, right? You have to have some type of sponsor or something.
You have to work.
Yeah, you have to. What was the turning point?
$2,000 is probably the max point for someone in a regional scene. Maybe 20.
Okay. So 2,400, that's probably for like the champion, huh? You're probably making like 500 and 500 or something.
Not really that much.
What was, I guess, the turning point from like, when you're getting that money in the beginning, what made you say like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see this all the way through?
It was just the fact that I wasn't losing. So I figured I would just get brought right to the UFC, and I didn't know how much the UFC people made, but I knew it was enough to live because all these UFC fighters are posting all bunch of stuff, getting sponsored, getting to drive Bentleys around. You got John Jones crashing his brand new cars. So I was like, dang, UFC's making that kind of money. I could probably get there. Yeah. Now I'm here. It's nothing like that.
It's not the same exactly. You didn't look it up at all beforehand?
No,
I remember I was younger.
I never had a passion for MMA. I don't like to fight. I've never been in a fight before.
I know. To be honest, like just from, I guess, seeing you before speaking with you, like you seem like a lot more rough, right? But then when you start to talk and stuff, you're a really nice guy, like well-spoken and stuff. It's so I get that vibe a little bit. Like you're not exactly just about being like the toughest guy in the room everywhere you go. Like, yeah. So I guess that's part of it, huh? Like you started off your career really well, but that loss and everything kind of messed with you. How come, I guess I want to ask, like, how come after the 2 wins, maybe you're still finding yourself struggling with it a little bit? Because a lot of people say like 1 win and you're good after that.
No, I don't know. I just signed a new contract too, but it's hard to explain. Some people don't have emotional feelings. I don't really have emotional feelings when I go in the cage. I just have a doubt about myself. And that's what I'm getting over it. I've been working on it. I need to get over it. I know I'm better than 95% of the roster, not especially in my weight division. I just need to believe it. I don't.
You said you don't at the moment.
Yeah, no, I don't believe
you
it.
don't.
But every time I watch a fight, I was like, wow, I would have destroyed that cable.
Right. And then I guess it's something, huh? Like when you sign to fight and everything's on the line, that's when the doubt kind of creeps in. But if you can stay in that relaxed mindset, maybe
Yep.
that's the key.
Yep. And that's what I got the psychological help for.
Okay. That's really good. And did you mention something about like the hypnotherapy, or have you considered
Yeah.
that? If not,
Yep. I have a session tomorrow.
nice. What happens? So he kind of puts you to sleep and then gives you
He
some.
puts me in a relaxed state and then talks to my subconscious.
Okay. Did you hear that like Mike Tyson actually used to have that done to him?
It's definitely important. I can see the benefits that I'll be getting from it.
Yeah. Do you see any, I guess, immediately when you're kind of finished with that and you
Not
go
really.
train the next day?
Not really.
Not really. It's more of
I
a
am,
long-term
I am
thing.
more aware because I've been using a lot of the methods that they're teaching me in training, and I am more aware and of little twists here, positioning, stuff like that, hand placement for drilling, and I feel a lot more tight in jiu-jitsu and striking. I feel a lot better just
Okay.
from a mental point.
Yeah. That sounds like, I don't know the exact word for it, but um just like your instincts, it sounds like it helps your instincts a little bit or something
Yeah,
like that. All right, man. Well, I guess I want to go over like a couple more things.
yeah, go ahead.
So like I want to talk, so the fans that don't know like what you've actually been through. Um, you went through like a ton of injuries. What were the recent surgeries that you just got?
My shoulder, right shoulder,
Okay.
I had my labrum, a labrum tear, bicep long head tear, and rotator cuff tear. I had all those fixed, and then I had 2 surgeries on my hand, the same hand.
And so you were fighting with I think you broke your
Fought,
hand in your last fight, but
I
the
fought Mason
shoulder.
Jones. Yeah, I had this shoulder injury. I also had a tear in my meniscus when I fought Mason Jones. The thumb or hand I broke in the fight.
Yeah.
Nice now.
And then so also not only were you battling that, but something happened, right? Where you got hit by a car on your bike.
Um,
Yeah.
that was in the middle of the summer of 2020. Yeah, I was riding my bike. I went across a pedestrian crosswalk, and someone T-boned me off my bike. I
That's insane. And I heard they didn't really ever catch that guy.
kept driving. He
Yeah. So
stopped for a second, looked back, and then kept going.
did you suffer any like significant injuries from that, or you're pretty much good?
Think that might have been what messed up my shoulder because
Okay.
I went up and hit the ground, so I didn't really skid across the floor.
Yeah. I had to knock something out of line. And then, so you're, that, and then you're struggling financially. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
this
how has it
is
just been over the last year to be able to
chill.
relax? Yeah. Chill, man. Like your life is good. You helped out your family. So are
It
you in a
feels
better
pretty good.
mindset that way?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
need. I definitely need to keep this going. I feel happy. I feel like my life is at a point where, as long as it continues with the same momentum, that I can withstand this for the rest of my days.
Hmm. It's probably one of those feelings too that's addicting, being able to help your family and get those big checks.
Yes, once taxes suck though.
Taxes suck.
Yeah,
I guess you're in the right state though. I'm in California, so you pay way more over here, I think.
you got state tax over there.
Yeah, I think
We
it's
on
a little
state.
bit more. Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the time and I hope to see you back in there soon. You said April, right? In Miami.
It's gonna be April, May, either one. I'm getting back in there.
All right, let's see it because yeah, I was seeing you training a bunch too. So I was
I'm
like,
still
those can't
training.
be like old videos and stuff like that. He's got to be out there training.
That video I just posted where I got pancaked, that was like 2 days ago.
Hmm.
I'm still training. I'm still having fun.
Yeah. One last thing. You have like a true love for training, like like even if it wasn't for like you being a fighter in a sense, you think you would just still always be training every day and stuff. Like it seems like
Yeah,
you really love the
it's just
lifestyle.
fun. It's fun to me. It's what keeps me happy, makes me smile. Having fun, showing up at the gym. We're all friends there. We don't have any egos. We don't have any emotional aggression towards each other. We just laugh and beat each other up. It's fun.
Yeah, one of the things I like about it too is like a little bit of a community, right? So it gives you a sense of belonging for
Yeah,
people who don't have anything too. If you just
exactly.
join a gym and stuff, you instantly have a bunch of new friends and everything. So I could see how it improves your life.
It's amazing. You can hang
Yeah.
out with those people outside of the gym. You know they like to fight, so they'll go watch MMA. You guys get a gang together and go see the UFC fights on the weekend. It's great.
Exactly. And then, you get some friends with the same goals as you, and then that can really kind of push things too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, thank you for the time. Really appreciate it.